I had been studying Japanese for an entire year, but the first time I could have actually used it, it all vanished. I had gotten lost in Akihabara station, trying to get to my hotel, and it led to me entrusting a middle-aged man with my luggage that I just ran into after a 14-hour flight. It was weirdly wholesome, but it was also a big wake-up call for me. I was preparing myself for 3 months of studying abroad in Japan, and falling on my face in the train station made me realize that I wasn't all that after all. Granted, I definitely wasn't going to be with only 1 year of self-study under my belt. My school didn't offer any Japanese classes, so it was time for me to learn on the down low. There's plenty of different sources out there today to improve your Japanese, and the method that my big brain settled on was simply known as Anki in a Dream. And a little bit of Taikim's Guide to Japanese Grammar mixed in as well. Don't get me wrong, I did actually learn, but these two sources didn't get me very far now, did they? I was able to recognize various kanji and combinations of characters, but that's all I got out of this. Recognition. I did not get the necessary production that would have made me far more comfortable. Basically, I was reading Japanese, but I was still stuck thinking in English. I wasn't able to understand why words were said the way they are. I just went along with it and hoped for the best. And at the time, I didn't have any Japanese friends, so it felt like I couldn't really practice my speaking. I could watch as much anime as I wanted to train my listening, but putting thoughts onto my tongue was apparently too much to ask for. Maybe I shouldn't have put all of my points into the Anki stat. Trust me, it's a good resource, but take it from me, shouldn't be the only thing that you do. Oh, but Mr. Expat, if you couldn't speak Japanese at all, how did you fare at the actual college? Well, let me tell you, I was one lucky son of a gun. I went to what's known as a gaidai, or foreign college in Japan, so I was able to take classes in both Japanese and English. And there were students from all over the world there, and everyone there was in my shoes trying to learn a language, so everyone wanted to practice with one another. People were far more patient with my early struggles than otherwise in the event where I'd be at a full-on Japanese university. Would have been cool, but I'd be dead where I stand after one class. So being in an environment that favored my circumstances made the initial steps way easier for me. I didn't feel like I was sliding into people's spaces wanting to flex my ability to say genki and totomatte kudasai like a broken record. And if I had come all the way across the world, I would have liked to have made some friends from here while I was at it. So I naturally gravitated towards the Japanese students present. I'd even go to sports clubs to bond with some of the guys there, and take my air balls across the Pacific Ocean while I'm at it. But that didn't fully quell that feeling of being gatekept. After all, I was still a beginner in the native language, so naturally I found myself being outcast in more ways than one. The best way I coped with that reality was to travel on my own. I went to Osaka one weekend and saw my mother in Tokyo the next, and these two trips really anchored me to the end of the semester and my time there. It was in the final month of my experience where I finally started to understand grammar at least a little bit, and it gave me a lot more confidence when it came to speaking with my acquaintances that I established. That confidence ended up getting me somewhere, and it was in that last month where I finally felt like I was carving out a role for myself. Look, I met some fantastic Americans out there, but I really wanted to bond with the Japanese a lot more, and I felt like I wasn't able to in a way. And funnily enough, my best connections came from outside the school I was going to. At an arcade nearby, we'd run into other locals who played the same game that we did, and what started off as recognizing our faces turned into us playing together, and even meeting outside of the arcade towards the very end. And 90% of our interactions were done through translated messages on our phones, so despite the fact that I was still unbelievably lost, I was lost with people who had the same goals that I did, just to have a natural conversation. I have only the fondest memories of those times. But now I'm back here, reminiscing about what I once had and wondering what could have gone differently if I had been a better speaker. In the 3.5 months since returning from Japan, I've gotten to around an early N4 level, and I'm looking to improve it further over the course of this channel. Today's question of the day is, have you ever had an embarrassing translation moment? Answer down in the comments below, and I'll see you soon for more expat experiences.